how are you? My name is Anthony Gray and welcome to another episode of Grayscale Painting. This painting is more or less a request. Alright, it's how to do an underwater scene. Since the individual that requested this is more than likely kind of new to doing an underwater scene, I decided to do something relatively simple. Should be pretty quick to do, but it's also a nice exercise in painting gradiated tones, meaning dark to light without any streak marks. Okay, all right. Obviously, as you look at this canvas, it is 10 by 20. All right, so you're going to pretty much see my head. All right, we're going to do this at an angle like that. Light here, it's going to gradually get darker there. All right, we're going to have some rays from the sun go through the water. The top of the water will be up around here, which will also be at an angle. Okay, and to give the impression of sunlight hitting the top of the water and then the rays coming through. The rays will be behind the orca here that I got masked off. There will be pretty much nothing else but the orca and then the effects of the water, and that's the painting. All right, the disturbing background color that you see is a mixture of blue and orange, which will turn it this funky colored kind of brownish. All right, if I added white, it would be a very warm gray. Okay, are we going to get blue out of that? Yes, we will. Will you see the streak marks? No, you will not. All right. It was the orange. It's just craft paint. Both of them was just craft paint, and the orange was very, very watery, so it's probably went bad or whatever. And it's just a way for me to get rid of some paint. All right. Let's look down to the palette here. On the palette, we have titanium white, phthalo blue, ultramarine blue, and then we have black. A little much, but I'll make use of it. Okay, all right, and this background is pretty dry, and we're gonna get right onto it. Now, I do use vegetable glycerin as a medium to help blend, and it will make your paint transparent, but it will be the ratio of paint to glycerin and stuff like that. All right, so we're going to get a nice thin coat of glycerin on here. You obviously won't see my brush dip into the glycerin, but that's all right. And trust me when I say this, a light amount of this stuff goes a very long way. All right, and you see me really putting it on here fairly strong because there's going to be a lot of blending here going on. All right, vegetable glycerin is very reflective. All right, so keep that also in mind. I don't have any studio lights on. This room that I'm in is mostly windows, about 16 of them. So you're pretty much looking at sunlight right now at the time of my recording this. And I am slathering the glycerin on here. I'm borrowing some glycerin from other parts of the panel to put on here. Now keep in mind, I'm maxed the killer whale with 2-inch masking tape. Masking tape is not porous, so keep that also in mind if you have to end up putting your hand somewhere to do some kind of touch-ups or whatever, or put some details in, that this tape is not porous. All right, so you will leave a mark on your painting because you're definitely going to get a mark on you. Just saying. As you can see, the reflections here by the sunlight. Okay, the sunlight's pretty much on that side of the window, the side of the room, and that's where you see the light areas. All right, just saying. All right, let's get into this, guys. Let's start off with we'll start off with the dark color. I'll go into my ultramarine blue right now. Now this deep background will help a lot in keeping this guy fairly dark. And we're gonna start, remember, we're gonna start at an angle. All right, at an angle. And I'm gonna just keep at it here. keep at that angle, just like that. We're going to blend and everything, so don't worry about all of that. Everything will be kind of blended through. All right. If I need to touch up a little bit more, then I'll touch it up more as we go along. All right, we're going to go into our ultramarine blue. I'm not going to clean the brush because, like I say, this is all going to be blended. Okay, going to my ultramarine. As you can see, acrylic paint paints over anything, as you will now see. Okay, I'll mix that in with the blue a little bit, and this will all be faded and all of that good stuff. Put it right in there. Put that ultramarine blue in there. So we got our darker blue, our ultramarine blue. Okay, I'll probably get that ultramarine blue a little stronger. I'll put around in here, and you can vary the strength of your colors, all up to you. Okay, I'm going right into that dark at an angle. You're not going to see the streaks anyway, but you're going to know once I put the lighter color on the angle of this stuff. Okay, just like so. We're going to keep that moving along. Now we're going to add the lightest color. We're going to get a touch of white. I did not remove the paint from my brush, so it's just titanium white up here, right at this corner. Okay, and we're going to really concentrate on this titanium white here, which is turning that ultramarine blue, which is great. It's fine. That's expected. A lot of back and forth, and you can build this brightness. Keep that in mind. You can build the brightness up. All right. So the brighter you go with it, the more white you add, the brighter obviously it's going to get. Okay, and we're just going to keep building that. Get the angles about right, because I can switch the angle up a little bit slightly, just like this. Don't worry about the streak marks. Have no concern. Right now I'm just building tones. Okay, and that's all I'm doing. I'm generally building tones, no more, no less than that. All right. Figuring out the direction I want this stuff to go, what angle I really want. Like I say, this painting technically won't take very long to do. Okay. All right. Now that I've laid down that foundation color in the path I really wanted to go, as I'm looking at it, so I'm looking at it with my monitor also. I will take a very soft blender, this guy. All right, if you don't have one, it is just a makeup brush. I get it, Walmart, family store there. And then I will blend it. See, I don't want no streaks, so we'll softly, very, very, very softly blend it all in there. Softly, very softly. I'm gonna work with the light areas first, very softly. And where it blends, very light circle marks, just keep blending. You can get those streaks out of there. Okay, it will blend away, trust me. Just like that, it'll blend right away. And if you don't like the blend, you can always go over it again and blend it some more, all according to your taste, truly, all according to what you want. All right, and now your background color, back here where it's dark, that also depends on what you got for your gesso color, whatever. If it's going to be white, it will look lighter. If it's a darker color like I use, then that blue will accentuate that darker color. You follow me? All right. Okay. So I'm looking at it here, and I'm somewhat happy with this. This is fine. I don't have to really add too much of that light going into dark. If you need your darker colors pumped up a little more, you bring the dark color up a little more. Okay, truly up to you. All right, I might want my blue to be a little deeper under here, maybe. So I'll get a little bit of the phthalo blue, a little touch of phthalo, and I'll kind of play around with that up around in here. See, just darken it. Be gradual with it, because you don't know how dark you truly might want this. And right now I'm just blocking that color. All right, a little bit down in here. Just like that. Okay, so maybe I want him to cover it up a little bit. Bring some of that dark, surround the dark a little bit on him. Okay, see, you can easily alter things. You follow me? Take the same brush, I'm just cleaning it off here. Make sure you clean off your, whatever brush you use to do your background painting, clean it off fairly well. I got a towel on my lap here. Now, very lightly, I'm gonna still continue with the streaks. Very lightly, just like that. And I'm just blending, you know, there. Just to darken up that little corner a little bit. So our light area is somewhere centered around in here. Okay. Of course, you're gonna make streaks, as you can see the streaks, but that's okay. That's all right. That's what you have the blender brush for. Once again, circular motions. Very circular, very light. He's just spreading it out, getting rid of some of that. Okay, just like that. All right. Voila. Okay. Okay. Now, you guys pretty much know my little formula on how to make clouds. Well, we're gonna pretty much do the same thing. I'm gonna just take a soft-haired fan brush. We're gonna pretty much concentrate on this little corner up in here. All right, take the tiniest bit of white on a corner on the brush. You should see it here, on a corner, right here. Okay, come down a little bit, keep it in focus, right there, little corner. All right, and we're gonna come in here and we're gonna kind of emulate the sunlight, but go with the perceived ocean strokes. So it would be at an angle like this. All right. Something like that. Just put it in there, but keep him at that angled position. Once more, a little corner of white. All right, and we'll kind of pop some in here like this, and put some long ones in there like that. Something like this. Come on in the corner, a little bit here, whatever. Just stuff like that, like that. All right, for right now, something like that. Okay, very simple, very simple process. It's just a very soft, controlled hand strokes. All right, you know, and you're gonna softly kind of just go in that angle, softly, just kind of very soft at that angle, just like this, that angled strokes. Like this. Okay, just like that. Keep at that angle, don't go past that angle. Blend it in there, just like that. Blend it in there. Softly blend it in, just like that. Very soft. Keep the angle. We can smooth them out a little bit in a little bit later. If you want to get them a little bit brighter, you can do that also, but keep that angle, that slanted angle with it. Okay. Okay. You can continue with the fan brush. I'll just use this other brush because it's just handy. It's right here. We'll kind of pop in some bright stuff in there, here and there, up around in here like that. Pop bright one up in here somewhere like that. Okay, keep that angle though. The main thing is the angle. Just like that. Okay, something like that. If you want to do a curve, a slight like curve, you can do a little curve if you want and have it curve around. So you can manipulate the paint. See, just a slight curve. just bend that paint around a little bit. The curve gets a little wider as you get away from it there, like that. Really up to you how you want to emulate that. All right, just like that. I'm just wiping off my one brush. I'm gonna clean off my filbert here. It was a filbert that I used just to add that. It could be any brush you particularly want. Very lightly, very lightly, very lightly. 3 hairs of some airs. I'm gonna kind of circular blend some of this. It's not gonna make them circular, but it's just softening and blending it all in there like this. Very soft, very soft. Just like that. Twirl some of that out of there. All right, just like that. All right, I don't have to clean this right now. I'll clean that a little bit later. So you got our shine, you got a little water glow happening here. Okay, all right. Let's put in some rays, more or less. Now, the rays, the sun rays that will be peeping through here. Okay, we can have varied amounts. The ones that are far away will be thinner. The ones that are a little closer to us will be thicker, obviously. Okay, and the degree of brightness will come also from those sun rays. Okay, all right. So let's take a little bit of white. Now this is where the glycerin really helps out. As you can see, I'm taking my filbert brush. I'm stroking back and forth with the white paint. Okay, let's try for a ray here. Right here, it's just like this. Let's put it in there like that. Okay, something like that. Let's take that same, well, let's take a slender brush here. Keep with that angle. See the angle? Keep that angle. Just like that. See how it picks up that color? Okay. Don't worry about that. We'll take care of that. But keep at that angle like that. All right. So that's one down. All right. We're gonna blur and soften all of that because the paint is still wet. So have no fear. All right. Very simple concept to do this. All right. We're gonna have another one. Get a nice bright spot right up in here like that, and just kind of, well, we'll kind of keep them like that. All right. So you got a little bright spot there. And we can put a little bright something right up in here too. Just like something like so, whatever. And okay. Anyway, same thing. Wear it right away. Maybe we'll make them come further down. Okay. And I'm widening, making it a little wider as I go down. All right. Okay. Gonna get a little bigger now. All right. We're gonna get a larger one going here. I'm just rinsing off my filbert. You don't necessarily have to use this filbert. You can use a flat brush. I'll get a larger flat brush here. This guy. Same concept. Look down here. Get you some paint. A little larger, a little brighter. All right. Oh, we'll pop him maybe right about here. Right up in here somewhere. All right. He's a little brighter. Coming straight down. He's a big one. We're gonna really concentrate on. He's a bigger, brighter one. Get a little bit more paint because I'm going across the whale, which is covered with that blue. All right, so we're gonna kind of brighten that up a little bit. Come on down, like that, like so. All right. Once again, and we're gonna build this one up a little bit more because he's brighter. So it's nothing but a build up now. A little light coming into the dark water there. All right. We're gonna brighten him up. I'm gonna just use this brush, the blender brush itself, and we're just gonna make him a little brighter. You don't necessarily have to be a killer whale. It can be a shark, octopus, whatever you feel you want in that. All right. Okay, As you now see, I had a phone call, but I kept going. But it's basically the same thing. All right, I added smaller ones going through there. But now what I am going to do, it's the same concept. Okay, and I will add where the sunlight would hit on this guy, keeping with the slants and everything, and it's like that. Okay, and remember, what you're painting is the top of the water, so it can be the brightest. And you're keeping, like I say, with the slants and just little taps in that area. Obviously a little larger and longer if they're closer to you. But keeping with the angle. It's important. Angles are important here. Okay, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at angles. And they're like shaped like an oval. Catch a bright point and then they kind of taper out. Just like that. Now you can see through the gradation, you see that it's the flatness of the water here. Okay. And even this is at an angle. All right. Very, 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 very simple. All right. And once I do some soft blending with this, all right, then we're going to get to the killer whale. All right. All right. All right, more at the angle here. I'm just softly blending in the stuff in the background there. Same thing with this fellow, a little more in the background there. Just getting that color. All right. Oh, let's have him streak down a little further. He streaks down too. Just getting it darker down below. This one here, not so much. Okay. All right. Now watch this. People might get a little intimidated by what I'm about to do next. Now, soft blend. All right. Now I'll just lightly circle, which is softening those edges. It's not distorting the shape. It's just softening those edges, going in circular motion. See, just soften the edges a little bit. And continue stroking downward. All right. Softly blend it. This one not so soft. This one in the back, see how you can softly, see that? Blend them in there. Different degrees of softness, different degrees of blending. See that? There you go. Bring some of that horizontal stuff. All right, just like that. Now, let's take care of Mr. Killer Whale. We're gonna peel this fella back a bit. All right, now you gotta be kind of careful with it. The paint's a little bit wet. And remember I told you this tape is not porous. All right. So hopefully if you do it in one take, all the better. Okay. Now he was split into sections. So if you can get the sections off in one take, this one, this is his tail, so that's not gonna come off that easily like that. This was like separate, so we'll just peel him right off like that. No big deal. All right, I'll get this loop upon itself here. All right, now the bottom half. Now I know what a killer whale looks like. It's like my favorite animal. So I can pretty much paint him by heart. And they got such a distinctive silhouette, you kind of know what it is. All right. And obviously, killer whales being black and white. I'm just checking something here. All right. All right. Now, I don't have my other camera on because of that phone call. It's just easier to do it like this. We're going to zoom in a little bit, just a little bit. Focus on Mr. Whale here for a minute and put him in full panel here. Let me throw that focus on so I don't have to deal with that. Okay, you see the light pencil markings and such. It's a chalk pencil, basically showing you pretty much the markings of the killer right up around in here. All right, comes down. Obviously, there's his. He'll be the start of the fin. He's got that characteristic patch here. He's got that little gray thing going on around in there, and he's got obviously the little patch there. Obviously, it's white here. Okay, obviously he's got the black fin. Then you got the patches and what not and what have you. All right, now since he is a black and white animal, obviously he's underwater. Obviously, well, the patches that are white won't be as white as much, and we'll put some sun marks on this fella. Okay, all right, and here we go. So let's just take a, I'll take a, what is this thing here? Somewhat of a kind of a thick 1/2 inch right here, and we'll just start blocking in color. All right, okay, and obviously I'll just do it with the black. I'm gonna take black and blue though. I got some black, I got some blue, and I'm mixing it together here. Because he's not gonna be solid, like super solid black, but I'm gonna, by the time this is over, I'm definitely gonna need more blue because I know I don't have enough. But he'll be tinted with a little bit of black, but it's kind of blue black. Okay. I'll put just a tiny bit of glycerin just to loosen the paint up and get it to travel a little bit better. That's all. All right. Now I took the glycerin and I'm putting it in the paint mix itself. Okay. All right, and we'll just start blocking this fella in a little bit here, just like that. All right, not really difficult to block him in because since he's such a unique kind of just that color. And as this dries, it will darken anyway. Okay, and you can see the amount of blue that's in this black. Okay, there's a reason for that, because you know you put black in with drawing an animal mostly black and you put highlights in. If the paint's still wet, it's going to come out kind of grayish, and it might not be what you're looking for, especially if the animal's underwater. So you get it as close to black, your eyes are going to accept it that it's black. Everybody knows pretty much what a killer whale or an orca looks like, so you know your eyes will adjust for that. Now remember, this background color also assists in this painting. All right, because the paint that you're laying on there right now, get my head out of the way, the paint you're putting on here, all right, it's going to reflect that background color, even if it's a dark color like this. All right. And I'm just filling them right in there. Now, how would you include the whale into this, considering that he is characteristically black? And I really didn't add any black to this painting. The only thing that's black that's added to this painting is actually the color I'm putting in now, which has been mixed with blue. All right, well, you do it with the white markings. We know it's white because the whale would be out of water, it would be white. But in the water, it would be some kind of really off-white. It's tinted with the ocean color, obviously. Okay. All right. All right. But see how fast that happens? All right. So how do you sell that weird kind of color with this whale? Well, we're going to use a little bit of white. Now, obviously, I shut the camera off so you can't see it. And I'm going to use a slight touch of ultramarine blue in that white. And then we'll build it off of that. Okay. All right. Little touch of glycerin, just a little touch just to loosen up this paint. All right. appear white, but we all know better. It's not white. It's that weird ultramarine blue. I need plenty of it here. Plenty of white is what I'm talking about. And put some glycerin in there, loosen up the paint. I'm just adding, what I'm doing, because you don't see it, I'm just adding a little more ultramarine blue to the white. Okay, I just didn't make enough of it. That tends to happen with me. And we're gonna play with the gentle, subtle shading within this color. All right, to sell that he is underwater there. Good thing about acrylic, it will go over a Sharpie marker. No problem. Because obviously there's no black outlines on sea creatures. You know, depending on how you, what your art style is, more or less. You might end up going over this again. It all depends on what your background color is. Mine was that weird grayish color. Okay. All right, I think I pretty much got this bottom part here. All right, be very careful when you go to the smaller patches. Okay, if you're not sure, you know, use a smaller brush. If you're not that confident painting in small areas, it's understandable, especially if you're not really used to it. I've been doing this for a minute, so you got to keep that in mind when you see me do it. And if I appear to make it look easy, I've been doing this for a while. Okay, so just be mindful of that. I've been doing it for a little bit, and we're trying to get you there. All right, that's all. All right, moving right along. Get some more white. Get some more of this blue that I've already concocted. Okay. This is more paint than anything. Not there, right here. And with everything, this is more of a foundation type of color. It's already being blended in with the color of that water and of that light back there, so it appears darker, which is like awesome. You kind of want it like that anyway. I kind of like that color. I'm getting a little bit of black and I'm mixing it in there to gray it out a little bit, because we're going to use that for that patch. So already in there, it's got a little bit of the ultramarine blue in it. They got that little off color patch right in here. Look at that. And it's kind of light and blended a little bit, but he's got that weird, they got that weird little patch there. All right. I'm cleaning off my brush fairly well, because that patch is kind of blended. It's not like perfectly in there, so I'll just kind of, that little scumble thing there, make it look like a little kind of a patchy whatever back there. Okay. Just like that. Kind of rub it in there. It's that, that weird funky gray patchy thing they got back there working around there. All right, let's take a little bit of pure white if I got some left. Just a little bit. Now you got to think of roundness and stuff like that. So we're gonna kind of do that up around in here. Just like this, just pure white. We tap it in there. All right, and we kind of have it kind of come toward the top here. And we kind of fade it out on the bottom, mix it in with that other blue there, but we kind of keep it here on the top like that. Very gentle, very subtle. You do it that way. Get a little bit more white, and you just build up on that bright patchiness right up here on the front a little bit. Just a little bit on the front here. Just like that. Very gentle. Okay. All right. Let's take I'm just wiping off the brush here, because we're pretty close to the end on this, believe it or not. Let's take a script liner. Now, I'm not going to use glycerin for the script liner. It will be more or less water. I'm going into my ultramarine blue here. And I'm going to go into, I don't have any more white. I have to get some more white. I would rather run out of color than have a bunch of color on the palette. Kind of redundant. We're going to get some cute little wavy lines across them and some little highlight points on the whale itself. Okay, so I'm going into a whole lot of white. It's got the ultramarine blue on my brush already, but I'm using a lot of white. Get some water. And you have to, now my ultramarine or my titanium white is really thick paint, so it'd be like a gentle little dance of this color. All right. And we can start like the fin here. You can kind of give a nice little watery highlight to the fin. You don't have to like do every single line of it. Okay, won't be necessary for that. Okay, in here, like, let's start from the fin. I gotta be careful because you see a little squiggle, but that's all right. I'm twirling it a little bit. Right by his dome. Just like that. Okay. Oh, his back end here, get a couple. Just a couple little spots there like that. You see how it adds to it already? Not total lines, guys. Not total lines. Now, obviously, this is behind the animal, so a little creative license here. We'll give him a little bit of something right up in here, like that, but we'll bridge that in like that. In here, maybe by the tail tip here, and a little bit there. I don't want to add really too much to that. All right, I'm gonna get a little bit of water, really water down my paint. It's still got that ultramarine blue and white mix, but it's just extremely watered down. Okay, and then we'll just add little squiggles to him. Up around in here, we'll add kind of little squiggle lines to him. Some are a little whiter than others, like this. Come on down, I'm going across him. Just let it roll across a little bit, like that. Kind of smooth it out, blend it in there. Just little water lines on him. Okay. Let's get a little faint. Pretty smooth here. Put a couple of them hanging around in there. Rub it out a little bit. Just like this. Incorporate this stuff into him. Oh, I don't really have to add really too much more to him, really. I can deepen this, okay, just a little bit, because one is underneath him. All right, so I'm gonna get a little bit of, now this is where your glycerin will come in. I'll get a little bit of glaze. I'll just get some ultramarine blue. It's more glaze than ultramarine blue right now. I might even add in a slight, and I mean a very slight touch of black into that. And it's more of a glaze than anything, because you can rub this out if it's too dark. All right, but right up in here. Up in here like this. Okay. Now you see that little shading I got underneath him? Okay, very gently you just tap that into that bright area. But it's gotta be kind of rounded. You just kind of tap it in. A little rounded. There's no edge. Tap it in, fade it. Just like that. Okay. Now remember, it's underneath him. So bring it out a little bit more onto here. Okay. And you just tap I'm just wiped off the rest, and I just tap it into that brighter color. Just like that. Tap it in there. See that? Real gradual like. Now he's in there. All right, you follow me? I obviously don't have a ray going past him that will actually put him in there more. That doesn't say I can't do it. I can do it. All right. Okay. Let's do it real coy. Let's take some bright white if I got some. Okay. I'll take the biggest brush I got. Okay, and we'll hold it this way. Nice bright one at an angle. We'll pull this painting a little far apart, and apart like that. Okay. He's the brightest. Okay, and we'll have it go right past him. Touch, go right past him, just like that, and have it go right past. Got to be pretty bright. That's not bright enough, and that's okay. We'll keep working at it right in here. Now, I'm playing with that white paint. Hold on. I'm playing with it. Don't play with the white paint. If you need it, put it on there. It will blend. That's me playing with it. Okay. Don't be self-conscious. It's got to be bright. All right, but not opaque. All right. You'll understand. Here we go. Take it very lightly. Very lightly. Just go across. All right. And we'll go opposite way here. Go right through them. Okay. And right across in here. Go right across them. Just like so. We'll get this straightened out in there. So don't worry about that. It's just going in that angle. Okay, don't worry about this. This here can be just rubbed away. Don't fret about that. Right here, I want that nice brightness right up around here, because one is closest to us. Okay, no glycerin or anything. This guy's the closest to us, so we're gonna put that light right across there. Okay, I'm not using enough white, and that's all right. I'll just get some more white. It's funny, it's the last part of the painting, and this is where we get a little, not really an issue, but you know, it's doing what it do. Just like that. And what I'm doing is I'm overlapping the strokes. Coming right down and right across. All right. You don't want to see any streak marks really. Around in here, fret not. You'll see. All of this, don't worry about that. See, I can wear some of that away. Go back and forth. Go back and forth. Don't worry about that part. We're gonna brighten that. That'll brighten red up. Now with acrylics, you can remove things also. So once again, don't worry about that. Overlap, go across, show no fear. Just like that, bring it right across there. Now we're gonna thin that out. You'll still see him. You'll still see him. And right on this edge, I'm just kind of softening that edge, just like that. Just a little bit of softening there. But you'll still see his head right up in there. It's wear that little area away a little bit. And as it dries, see, just wear it away a little bit. You'll still see his face. See? You'll still see him through there. But he's in there. Okay? You still see his outline. You still see his head. Okay? See, you can still see a little bit of his crown there, his little head. See how you just wear it away a little bit? All right? Just like that. But he's definitely in there. If you want to add a cute little something, little thin piece of something across them, like I don't know, maybe a little bit shot across the bow on his fin, like that. See that? And you whiten it up a little bit, like that. Just like so. There. See, he's gonna have got a little something going there. And you can brighten it up, don't worry about it. Everything can be smoothed over. So give him a little bright whatever right up in here somewhere. And just kind of turn my brush around, get some of that white across there, just like that. And just fade it away. You're okay. You are all right. But he is in there. Now he's in the painting. You follow me? He is definitely in there. And we're like 98% done with this guy. Okay. There. Bring him in there. Just like that. All right. I can't get no more water seed than that. Very simple. I'll center everything here. Look at this. All right, you can't tell he's not in there. He's definitely in the water. We got those going on. We got those going on. Got that going on. Got this happening here. Back there. Okay. All right. I don't really see me needing to add anything else, but maybe take the brightest white. The brightest thing on here will be the glint of the water up here. In its little angles there. This is a very thin filbert that I have here. You would do better with a script liner like that, because you want the really thin stuff going on. Mine are too thick. So a script liner would do best with than this filbert. So I'm adding just little dots, just where the highlights would be on this. And please, please, please just pay attention to your angles. Okay. Oval shaped. There. Something like that. But now you guys get the hint. You can put some heavier stuff here because that this fella is in the front of us here. Just like that, nice oval shape. Give me something back there. Just like that. All right. I do believe that is the end of that. Okay. All right. Little X strokes to get some of those out of there. Just kind of blend those. X strokes, X strokes, X strokes. And then to my dark, bringing it back up in here. Because not everything shows through, goes directly to the bottom. Just borrow some of this dark here. And we'll kind of put it right up in there, just like that. Just kind of blend it in a little bit more. There. All right. Well, whoops. There you go. The title of this will be the name of the person that requested this painting. And hopefully she will like. Very, once again, it's a very simple concept, simple procedure, simple painting. Not to really, and this is done in acrylic. I use heavy body acrylic. Okay, so all right, let's sign the name on it here. I do appreciate you guys watching me do this. This painting is kind of caked with well, it has a lot of glycerin on it, so it'll take a moment for it to dry. I can take a pretty decent picture of it though, and everything will be all dried and well and good by the time you guys see this air. There we go. That's it. All right. Upright fin. It's a he. Big male. Yeah. And now as you can see, the white on the whale looks white, but it's not white. It's ultramarine blue. and ultramarine blue and black faded through, and we just put the kind of the glow through them, which does not detract away from the painting. It puts them actually in the painting. So you got the glow coming through, the sun ray coming across the fin, across a little bit of the front of his face. All right, but you know, 80% of his body is out there for you. You know, he's even got that little gray patchy thing there happening. All right, okay, let me know what you think. I won't be here at the time of this recording. I won't be here to see this being when I do this live, not live stream, but it'll be a premiere. I won't be here to interact with you, unfortunately, but I will read your comments. So please comment. Let me know what you think, or what I did right, what I did wrong. And I would love to see your version of this. Okay, I don't have a traceable for the whale because I did it freehand. I just sketched them out and then taped them, and that was that. Okay, you don't necessarily have to use such a dark background to do this. You can do a lighter background if you would like, but underwater scene, purely underwater, the background is actually part of the character itself, being that dark, coming up into the ultramarine blue, lighter ultramarine blue, going darker at an angle. Everything's at an angle. All right, and you got the rays poking through and everything, and you got the one ray going straight across his face there. Okay, but you can still see him in there. Okay, all right. Well, everybody, I appreciate it. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you when I see you. Peace.